What's up, y'all? Welcome to another edition of Digging in the Crates, and I'm your host, André Lamont Floyd. Now, if you don't know what Digging in the Crates is, Digging in the Crates is a show that I created where I wanted to focus on albums that maybe didn't get the shine when it came out, maybe it didn't blow up or what have you. But today is a little bit different, and I'll explain to you why. Today's Digging in the Crates is featuring The Love Below by Andre 3000. Now I know this is a double album featuring Big Boy and Andre 3000, but I want to focus on Andre 3000's side of the album um, because that record resonated more with me than Speakerbox did when it came out. A lot of you guys might say, well, what are you talking about? Everybody loves this album. Well, when it first dropped, a lot of people didn't like Andre 3000's The Love Below album. They thought it was weird because they were so accustomed to hearing him rapping. I mean, he barely raps on this album. I think he raps on maybe on 3 tracks total. Most of it singing. So when it came out, I think it sounded a little foreign, and the musical choice that he chose is a little bit different. So we're going to dive into that today. We're going to talk about all those things. We're going to talk about the hidden meaning behind The Love Below. We're going to talk about what this album is about. And I want to give you some fun facts that I don't think a lot of people know about this album. So before we get started, I want to ask you guys to do me a favor. Please subscribe to my channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so now. And do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, like the channel. That helps the algorithm push my channel even further, helps more people see the content. So if you could do that for me, I greatly appreciate it. Now let's talk about The Love Below. The Love Below was originally supposed to be a solo album. Andre 3000, 3 Stacks. He was working with a guy named Brian Barber. And Andre had been, just working and recording music and trying new things by himself. And he had the idea. He had this collection of songs, and he was talking with Brian Barber, and he said, "Why? Let's put a movie together." So this record was originally supposed to be a soundtrack to a movie. So there's no indication of what that movie would be about, but given the content of this album, I think I got a good idea of what the album would be about. And I think the album would be about a person who is having ambivalent feelings about being in love, and Andre 3000 talks about that a lot throughout this album. Then the overall message I feel is why be in love, He talks about that on Hey Ya. He says, nothing lasts forever, and what makes love the exception? If nothing lasts forever, what makes you think us being together is gonna last forever? He said, I don't want to meet your daddy, just want you in the caddy. Don't want to meet your mama, just want to make you come. So he's telling you what he's focused on. And if you haven't guessed already, he's focused on the love below. The love below the waist, that is. So there's a little jewel for you if you didn't know what The Love Below was about. When he had the idea of this solo album, he was talking with his manager, Greg Street, and Greg said, no, Outkast, you guys are at the height of your popularity. Why would you put out a solo album? And I think that was a smart idea to convince him not to do it. And let me tell you why. He saw the writing on the wall. Everybody saw how Andre 3000 was evolving as an artist, and they saw that he wasn't really having fun doing the music anymore. And I think he was scared that if one artist got too big, then the other artists in the group may feel overshadowed at some point, and it just would cause a rift in the group. So he said, why don't you, since you guys both want to put out solo projects, why don't you guys both record separately and put it together and package it together as a total package? And that's how Speakerbox and The Love Below came to be. Andre 3000 wrote and produced every song on this album. He also played a lot of the instruments on this album. This album won 3 Grammys. It also is, I don't know if you would consider Lauryn Hill's album a hip hop album, but Lauryn Hill and Speakerbox and The Love Below are the only 2 hip hop albums to ever win the Grammy for Record of the Year. And I think that's pretty remarkable. This album came out over 20 years ago, and until this day, there still hasn't been another hip hop album that has won Grammy of the Year. Just recently, Bad Bunny won with a Spanish album, but Speakerbox and The Love Below is the last hip hop album to win the Grammy for Record of the Year, which is pretty dope. This is the highest or the largest selling hip hop album of all time, even outsold Eminem. This album has went on to sell 13 million albums. That's 13 times platinum, right? The cool thing about this album, it's laced with soft rock, this garage band "Hey Ya" song, sounds like the Beatles a little bit. It has this, you have some pop songs in there, you have some classical jazz in there, you have hip hop, of course. You also have a little bit of psychedelic soul and a little funk that all those genres of music is encapsulated on The Love Below. And this was Andre 3000 coloring outside the lines, as my boy Selah would say. Speaking of funk, if you like funk music, I have a video out right now, and it's called Clean Into the Funk. So at the end of this video, I'll make sure it's up there where you can click on it and listen to that mix if you want to. So it's a cool mix for when you're cleaning around the house, or you're cooking, or you're just washing the car, just hanging out, maybe barbecuing. This is the perfect mix to throw on if you like funk music. So I'm going to include that at the end of the video for you. What I love about this album is Andre 3000 wasn't afraid to step outside the box and try new things with it. If you didn't know, this album, since it was a soundtrack to a movie, you can visualize the movie when you listen to the album. It starts off with the song "Love Below," right? It's not really a song; it's an intro. Starts off with Andre 3000 on the piano. You can take a trip with him through this album as he's finding love, and he prays to God, and God tells him, "I think I found a woman for you," right? He says, "I think I found the one for you," and that goes into Happy Valentine's Day, where I like how he plays with it. And he says, "You believe in the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, and all this, but nobody believes in Cupid. Nobody believes in love." And he says, "You know what? But arrows don't penetrate." When he pulls an arrow from his quiver to shoot, you know how Cupid usually shooting somebody and they fall in love. He says, "I got a gun." Hence, and when you look at the album, or it's not on the album, they cover up the gun, but you can find a picture out there of Andre 3000 with that gun. And that character name is Saint Valentine, if you didn't know. And he'll shoot you if you're trying to run from love. And you see Andre 3000 as the character, this love character. He's running from love. For whatever reason, I don't know. He says it multiple times throughout this album. I don't want to be in a relationship. He just wants to have fun. But he's looking for the one, right? After Happy Valentine's Day, he meets this young lady, and the song is called Spread, and he tells her to spread for him. He can't wait to get her home, right? And do what, grown folks do. And then after Spread, you hear the interlude, "Where Are My Panties?" You hear that after that night of making love, once he got her home, she wakes up. She's like, "Where are my panties?" And they slept together on the first night. And he's saying to himself, because God had told him that she found somebody for him, right? And in this album, God is a female, right? And it goes into Prototype, where it says, "I hope you are the one. If not, you are the prototype." And from there, it goes into "She lives in my lap. She lives in my lap, where the love below is," right? So again, there's these references. It's funny, the next song, "Hey Ya," people, they play the song at weddings, and it's really not about being in love. And he's saying, "Look, I don't want a relationship with you. I just want to have sex with you." If there's a crazy, that's the hidden message behind "Hey Ya." And I think that totally goes over a lot of people's head. He said this album is about 80% autobiographical, right? So if you know anything about Andre 3000, he is a recluse, and he likes to be alone. He said he spends a majority of his time alone. And he was talking about on Roses, a girl named Caroline. Now, Caroline, he said, isn't about one particular person, but he knows a lot of women who are like Caroline, and they're only there for the money, right? They only there to get what they can get from you. right? Get a little shine off you, so to speak. And think about it, Andre 3000 being an entertainer, I'm pretty sure it's hard for him to find love. Who really loves him for him instead of his celebrity status, right? I'm not gonna go through all the songs, but I like "Behold the Lady," where he meets another lady. This lady's more sophisticated, good vocabulary, dress well, and she's a little bit older. So you have several women that this love character or Andre 3000's character is encountering throughout his dating prowess, so to speak, right? Pink and Blue, that's the one about the older lady. She's Alive. Wow. Now that's a song about his mother. And he talks about the struggles that and the resiliency that his mother has and the struggles she's had to overcome, right? One of the cool songs on here, which is probably not a fan favorite, is Dracula's Wedding with featuring Khalees. And I thought that was pretty cool because he says, I didn't, terrorize all these people. I didn't killed a lot of people, but I'm terrified of you. Now, this is Dracula at his wedding. Says, I didn't done all this heinous stuff, but I'm terrified of you. Who is he terrified of? He's terrified of a commitment. He's terrified of a relationship. And I think it's pretty cleverly written. And then another song that really resonated with me is "Take Off Your Cool," and that features Norah Jones. The reason I love that one is it calls back to Andre 3000 when he's laying in the bed or on the skit, "Where's My Panties?" You hear him say, "Stay cool, 3 stacks, stay cool." Then you hear somebody in the background say, "Ice cold," right? He's saying, "Stay cool, stay cool. Don't be vulnerable," right? Just stay cool. A lot of times we don't want to be vulnerable. And if you listen to Hey Y'all, he says, "What's cooler than cool?" And they say, "Ice cold," right? So he's trying to tell you, like, I'm shut down and I'm very ice cold, right? I'm cool. I'm not going to look like a simp out here in this song, "Take Off Your Cool." She says, "Take off your cool because I want to really get to know you." And it's really a dope message in that song because how many times have we maybe messed up a relationship or we can't even establish good intimacy in a relationship because we too busy worried about how we may look and our image and trying to be cool. And, he's saying if you want to find love, you got to take off that cool, which is a pretty cool song. Some of the stuff I want to talk about on here, I'm going to give you some fun facts that you probably didn't know. So the song Vibrate is about masturbation. I know this is going to sound funny. I did not know that. I listened to this album for 20 years and never really caught that until I did my deep dive and studied this album. And at first when I was listening to it and reading the lyrics, I thought it was about, elevating and raising your vibration. It's about masturbation and taking care of the love below, right? And it's funny because you'll hear one of the skits where he's trying to go through his phone and, he's trying to call this girl or that girl and nobody's picking up. Someone's not answering or what have you. And he's left to be the master of his patient, as he says. So I thought it was a pretty interesting song, right? But did you know the song Vibrate is actually the song She Lives in My Lap played backwards? Did you know that? If you knew that, write it in the comments. Let me know that you knew that. Because I sure didn't know that. Another thing, at the end of She Lives in My Lap, I want you to go back and listen to it. That sax you hear being played is actually Andre 3000. Andre 3000 said he wanted to learn the sax because he was a huge fan of John Coltrane and he had listened to his music and he had watched, I guess, a documentary and read a book on him or something in that nature. And he realized, before John Coltrane played the sax, he played the clarinet. And he said he started playing the clarinet as well. But his influence to get started playing the saxophone was through John Coltrane. Another little fun fact maybe you didn't know. Now, on this album, probably one of my favorite songs on the album is the song Prototype. It's this psychedelic soul song, right? And that video for Prototype is actually a nod or a riff from Sun Ra's movie Space is the Place. I don't know if you know that, but if you've ever seen that movie, you might recognize a little bit of or some of the aesthetics from that movie in the Prototype video. And Andre 3000 said always wanted to look like he wasn't from this world. And in that video, he didn't. If you take it back to AT Aliens, he started to look different and try to look different. And all this, I know it may sound weird, right? But all this is paying homage to Funkadelic and Parliament, how they came in the mothership and they were not of this world and things of that nature. So it was a play to that. You know, he grew up loving Funkadelic, Parliament, Sly and the Family Stone, groups like that. So, and in the 70s, a lot of people played with that thing, that space thing. So he was always enamored by that, or he was always interested in it, or he liked it in some way, or what have you. So he wanted to, I guess, go that route as well. He said he wrote the song Prototype with Janet in mind. Think about that. He said he wrote the song Prototype with Janet in mind. And when he sung the demo, because he wanted to sing the demo and send it to her in hopes that she would record it. And when he heard his voice on it, he thought, nah, I'm going to keep this. I think it'll sound better with my voice. I never knew that. That was a pretty interesting, fun fact to hear. He also said the song She's Alive was written with Anita Baker in mind. Like he wanted Anita Baker to sing that song. And he said, you listen to the way he sings on that song, She's Alive, he's doing his best Anita Baker imitation, right? So yeah, this was The Love Below. If there's something you think I missed, or let me know in the comments, man. Please let me know in the comments. And if you didn't know, I have another video on the girls. If you didn't see that, it'll be right here. And don't forget, my Funks mix is right here. So until next time, peace.